You're watching E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're going to continue the doubleheader, March to Avengers Age of Ultron. This one, we're going to shortly discuss Iron Man 3 and talk a little bit more about Iron Man in the upcoming Avengers Age of Ultron movie. Iron Man 3, probably one of the most controversial Iron Mans out of the three. Look, overall, I did enjoy the movie. I like how they took Tony and they focused on him more out of the suit. I know that was a turn off for some people, but we have to remember that Tony is more than capable of being a superhero and doing good when he's outside of the suit. He has to be more than just the suit. And they did a good job, I think, highlighting that. Now, the other thing I liked was how he responded to his post-traumatic stress syndrome. It made him more human, showing that he was going through that. It's one thing when you're a superhero like Iron Man who, you fought Whiplash, and that's your tech. You're dealing with your tech. You're stopping your tech. Ironmonger, once again, stopping your tech, dealing with your tech, dealing with some of the things you created. It's another thing to deal with an alien army amongst other superheroes that are just as powerful as you, if not more, when we look at someone like Thor and the Hulk. Captain America is just obviously a very hyped up human, not the strongest amongst the group, but stronger than Tony. Just if Tony's in a suit, obviously we know the deal. But now the thing about this movie, and I still to this day have a hard time I'm still 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other when it comes to what happened with the Mandarin. Because Ben Kingsley is such an excellent actor, and he was selling that Mandarin role so freaking well that when they turned around and they turned him into, I believe his name was Trevor in the movie. But at the same time, when he became Trevor, he was still entertaining. It was hilarious. So, and there's a lot of people who either hate that or they love it. I kind of both. I hate it because he was doing such a great job as a Mandarin. I wanted to see more. I wanted to see how dark it was going to get. How was Tony going to stop this guy? But on the flip side, when he became Trevor, that was some of the funniest shit in the movie. So, I still enjoy the movie overall. Some people thought the ending with all the suits was overkill. I thought it was kind of neat. I thought it was a lot of fun. The extremis stuff was pretty cool. I wasn't crazy about Pepper Potts becoming a super extremis hero at the end. Didn't really do it for me. But hey, it's part of the movie. There's nothing we can do to change that. But overall, it's better than the second. I did like it better than the second one. I thought the scene when they're falling out the plane and he catches all of them, I thought that was great. Only to find out later that he's remote piloting was incredible. So there's just certain things about the movie that just are really, really good. And there's certain things where you're like kind of scratching your head. But, and the interesting thing when I think back to that movie is, post-traumatic stress syndrome is still something, that's something that people deal with for a long time, if not the rest of their lives, especially without medication. So the question is, has Tony gotten over it? Has he taken medication to, kind of deal with it? Or is he still going to suffer from some of that in this Avengers movie, the second one, excuse me. If there's a big fight going on with the crew and Ultron and Ultron's minions, is the experience at that moment going to make him have flashbacks and memories of New York, and will that affect him during battle? So that's one thing I thought about, and that's something that I haven't really heard too many people talk about. But looking back at Iron Man 3, and knowing that I've already discussed other elements of Tony in this movie, because obviously his role is very important, that's one small detail that could, I'm not saying it's going to come up, but will they tackle that? Will they explain or show that he's not suffering for a minute anymore? Or are they going to make it something that can be a defining moment in the movie? Like maybe Ultron is trying to capture something and he's there to help defend, and in a moment's notice, he starts having post-traumatic stress syndrome attacks, and kind of because of that, it allows Ultron to to achieve what he set out to do at that scene. You know, something like that. And we don't know yet because there's been no indication as to whether or not Tony's post-traumatic stress syndrome from Iron Man 3 is going to carry over into Avengers Age of Ultron. So I think that'll be pretty interesting if that's something they play on. I kind of hope they do. And if nothing else, I kind of hope that if they've gone by that, if they're leaving that behind, I'm kind of hoping they at least show, or maybe at least for a little bit explain how he got over that. So the other thing to remember too is at the end of Iron Man 3, he had the device removed from his chest and the shrapnel. So how's that going to affect him now? I mean, obviously he's back to normal, and the suit now can just use the core within it as to be powered up. Is there going to be any effects to that? Is there going to be any side effects? Will it affect him in any way? You know, so some small details that come out of Iron Man 3 that you kind of wonder if they're going to transition into Age of Ultron, and if they're going to play a pivotal role, or if they're just going to do something to remind you that, hey, we didn't forget this, but this is how it's been dealt with, and then move on from there. So we'll see. Anyway, guys, do you think there's any events from Iron Man 3 regarding Tony that will carry over into Avengers Age of Ultron? If you do you think it'll play a significant role in maybe one or two scenes? Or do you think they might just touch on it and move on from it? Let me know in the comments. This is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment.
Thank you for watching E.T.N. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Join the nation's Facebook page to meet other subscribers, or visit E.T.N's Facebook page and Twitter page. Links for all are in the description.